Hi, welcome to Rose Opal Knits, a knitting and other craft podcast. I'm Erica, and usually my daughter-in-law Daphne would be sitting next to me, and we would discuss all of our finished objects and works in progress, new acquisitions, yarns that we're loving, patterns that we love, whatever we feel like talking about. We also talk about cross stitch, crochet, sometimes sewing, sometimes spinning. Not a lot, but we have talked about those things. We like to keep our hands busy and we like to try new things. But today I am by myself to announce the release of 2 patterns that I wrote. So I'm wearing one of them, and then here's the second one. So this is the Arise Cowl and this is the Arise Hat. They're separate patterns, and you can find them for free on the Rose Opal Knits website. Here, let me hold these up. Here's another Arise Cowl that I knit. And here's the hat that goes with it. So I want to talk a little bit about the patterns. Both are knit out of 2 colors of DK weight yarn. One color starts at the bottom, and then you work the second color in with striping and a slip stitch textured section here in the center. And then the second color ends the cowl. The same for the hat. It's just the colors are reversed. So the color you end the cowl with is the color that I suggest you start the hat with. And then you stripe the second color in with the slip stitch texture pattern. So here is the hat that matches this cowl. And when I designed these patterns, since I did design them to go with each other, I made sure that you could knit the cowl and still have enough yarn to knit the largest size hat in the pattern. So if you don't need the largest size hat, you will definitely have enough yarn to knit any of the other sizes. That is, as long as you get gauge. Remember, gauge is important. It's not always fun to knit a gauge swatch, and I totally get that. But if you do your gauge swatch and you block it and you know that you've got good gauge and you pay attention to your yardage, you will have enough to knit yourself a matching set. It is not color work. Some people have asked if it was color work, and no, it's not color work. Like I said, you just stripe in that second color, and then this textured pattern, which I call ladders, because my inspiration was a photo that I found of old painted ladders up against a weathered wall. But it's just when you get to the ladder slip stitch texture section, all you are doing is knitting, purling, or slipping a stitch. And it says in the abbreviation glossary that to slip the stitch, you just slip the stitch with the yarn in back, as if you slip it purlwise with the yarn held in back. So, but that is mentioned in the pattern. You also need to be able to knit in the round, because this pattern is written to be knit in the round. And the cowl is one size, so it does not fit snugly, but it's not real loose either. So you get this nice drape here. The hat pattern is written in 6 sizes. So this is the baby size hat. This here is the toddler size. And then I have 2 large, extra large adults that I knit up, just to make sure, like I said, that I'd have enough yarn with the gauge and the yardage to get a matching set. I had a test knitter knit the cowl, and she knit it out of acrylic yarns. So you can use any fiber to knit the patterns. However, I used 100% superwash wool. So that obviously is going to block out real nice. And there are blocking instructions in the pattern. And to open up this slip stitch section, you would want to make sure you block it and open that section up, because the slip stitches will have a tendency to make it, go through. It'll make it a little tighter than the rest of the knitting, I want to say. Also, since you're carrying the two colors up, so the beginning around on the cowl and the hat is in the back of the cowl and the hat. And so as you can see, that's a little tweed. That's not a hole there. It kind of meets there in the center back of the hat, and the lines they don't meet up perfectly, but that is the nature of knitting in the round. It's a spiral. It's not a perfect circle. So you can see that there. But let me show you. You just carry the yarn up there at the beginning of round, and you don't want to pull too tight. You want to pull snug but not tight. And of course, if you're using a wool yarn or a yarn that will block out any, the blocking will help with any of those stitches that you might get a little too snug on accident. But like I said, I did have a test knitter that knitted in acrylic, and she said that it worked great for her, so that's good to know. Let's see, anything else? I think it would be a good stash buster if you don't have full skeins and you don't want a matching set. Then you just want to knit the cowl, or you just want to knit a hat. But I'm obviously very pleased with how the patterns turned out. So I hope that you like them too. And like I said, you can find them on the Rose Opal Knits website, and they are free. There should be a link in the description box below. So, bye.